Madridistas. I'm Bert. I'm filling in for Lawrence and Alan today for the Peña Madridista Filipinas talk show. We're here today to discuss Real Madrid's El Clasico win against, of course, our eternal rivals FC Barcelona. So, without further ado, let's start with basically our thoughts of yesterday's win. So, Mikey,
Yes.
you can start with our what were your thoughts about last night's game?
Well, I think it was, they played. I think they played very well. They could play better, of course, but I think it was a decent game from Madrid. Like I said last night, especially after those two losses, no, it was good for them to redeem themselves after those two losses against Cadiz and Shakhtar Donetsk. And I think it was also good that they played against Barca, which is their toughest rival. So, kung mas mahina yung kalaban nila last night, maybe they would have come out not as intense, not as aggressive. They maybe would have come out a bit more relaxed, if it was a different rival. But since it was the biggest game of La Liga, alam nila they had to come out 200%, try to shut up all these, the haters who been complaining the past few weeks about the players, about the coach, about this, about that. So I think they gave a pretty good show, last night. Some players who've been criticized as well, they stepped up. Modric, when he came out, he did very well. I think at his age, this is a better role for him. Maybe not playing whole 90 minutes, coming in for 30 minutes. I think another good adjustment Zidane made was putting Lucas Vázquez as right back when Nacho got injured, because he could have put in Marcelo and transferred Mendy to the right. He could have put in Militao to play as right back. He had those three choices. So I think he made a good choice. Alam natin, Lucas Vázquez is a hard worker.
Yes.
He may not be the best technically gifted in the lineup, but he's going to work his ass off every game. So I think he did a good job, and I think it was a good decision from Zidane as well. So overall, we won the 3 points. Also doubts of Madrid doesn't score goals. We scored 3 goals last night against Barcelona. So I think overall, I think it went well. Hopefully they can pick up from this game now. That's my thoughts.
Okay, Renz, your turn. Comments on our glorious win.
Yeah, I think it was a fantastic win last night. Coming off the 2 losses that we had from Shakhtar Donetsk and Cadiz. What I saw last night was that the intensity was different. Aside from the goals, their intensity was really they're really playing intense kagabi, And while watching the Cadiz game and the Shakhtar game, they lacked the intensity they had last night. And yeah, the decision to put Lucas Vázquez as a right back was something that's really paid off for Zidane. And I think the haters of Zidane are now clamoring. And what's important is that last night gave us a start to a new momentum that we will march on this early in the season. And I know that we still have lots of injuries. We still have injuries in the right back position, but yeah, if the team keeps on playing with this intensity, and Zidane making the right decisions, especially managing the minutes of Modric, and really looking into the balance of the midfield with Valverde. So yeah, it was a good win, and a significant win for us since it's our eternal rivals.
Yeah, I think we are cursed at right back. Everybody gets injured. Even Nacho's not even a natural right back. So let's go to Omar. Omar, what's your thoughts about yesterday's win.
First of all, I love how Asensio played. I mean, he was very energetic. Parang hindi siya
Hardworking.
nanggaling sa ACL injury.
Yeah.
He was all over the left side, especially in the defense, helping Vasquez, containing Alba's deadly crosses. Then I'd like to mention Vasquez. I was like watching the 2016 Vasquez, the 2016-2017 Vasquez.
Yeah, in the Champions League, he was covering
Yeah.
Ribery. We survived that. Oh, yeah.
He's really good dribbling, passing, finding Benzema, making 1-2 passes with Valverde, with Asensio. And with Benzema, I like how he played. Gaya ng sabi ko kahapon, when Benzema is on form, he's really a maestro. Benzema's really connecting the midfield and the attack alongside with Cruz and Courtois. I'm just sad he didn't get the clean sheet. And
Yeah, but he made superb saves yesterday.
yeah. It's a good
Especially
save
that
from him.
Messi free kick. That was very dangerous.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all that.
Okay, let's go to Gian. Gian, thoughts on our season-saving win?
Just to add, it was a good way to start because if we lose right now, it's our third loss. So we just need everyone on the pitch last night was really great. The energy that we wanted to see from the Cadiz game, from the Shakhtar Donetsk game, was in there. So everyone just needs to have that energy, that consistency. Very happy for the win.
Okay.
Yeah, yesterday. I just wanted to one thing a lot of everybody said, Gian, Omar, Benz. You mentioned all of us, even I said it, the intensity. I don't know. I'm sure you guys have played any sport, basketball, football, kahit anong sport. You know, when you play and when you know your kalaban, your opponent is weak, automatically, I don't know, mentally,
You go down to their
I don't know
level.
where it comes from.
You go complacent.
Your game tends to.
Yeah.
Yes. But when you're playing against your toughest opponent in a league or in, I don't know where you guys have played or whatever, you know, when you play against and you know that your opponent's hard and automatically, I don't know, it's your endorphins, it just gets going automatically and you tend to give that extra, you know, intensity, extra effort, it just comes out. You know, it just comes out. And in a game against Barca, Real Madrid, as a coach, you do not have to motivate your players. I mean, if you're not motivated by yourself, knowing that you're playing against Barca, then you should retire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's automatic already. Playing against a Barca, playing against a Bayern Munich, a Juve, any of these top teams, a player doesn't need to be motivated, doesn't need to be. No, it has to come from you. I mean, from the love of the sport, and it's just there. It's just there already. It's in you, that passion. Like, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna show it. And I mean, as a coach, I coach kids, and that's one thing I always tell the parents. You know, you can teach the kid. I think I've said this before here. You know, I can teach the kid how to pass the ball, how to control, how to kick, how to dribble, how to, you know, tactics, movements. But you cannot teach someone passion, the love for the sport or the passion to bring into the sport. You know, that's one thing you cannot teach. So it's either you have it or you don't. So these players, you know, you get automatically motivated when you play at this level against these teams.
Of course. So let's talk about managerial tactics. Did Zidane get this right? I think more favored 4-3-3. You agree?
Yeah, he did. Well, he did good. Honestly, nothing really totally different. I mean, he's been doing this in the past, and so it wasn't really much of a change. The 4-3-3, maybe there's different names, but it's there. He's been doing it, and like here in Spain, there's a saying. I mean, everything's been invented in football already. You know, he's not gonna invent anything new that hasn't been done before. So he did what he does. And I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine. He's a socio of Real Madrid for. I grew up with him here back in the '80s. My best friend, and we usually WhatsApp each other. And he doesn't want Zidane. For the past, ever since Zidane came back, he doesn't want. So we always have these arguments, and once in a while, making a sub, not making a sub, putting the wrong lineup, the wrong formation. He might do it, but at the end of the day, like I've said, I think he's still the best choice for me to be there. And
Yeah.
I think he did, like I said, that Lucas Vasquez thing was a brilliant choice from him. And then he made the certain subs when he brought in Modric at the best time as well. So I think he did. With his choices last night, I think it went well.
Yeah. To add, I think Rodrigo was also brought in, and he was
Yes.
also energetic and showed up. And I think he was the one who forced that error from Alba, or the Lenglet, I forgot, that led to Modric's goal. So
Yeah.
That's him. It's him.
yeah, so great. For me, it's a great strategy from Zidane. And do you agree, Mikey, that I think Real Madrid is already a great squad, and we need more. Zidane is more of a players manager, more not much as a tactician like the Guardiolas, the Mourinho's, or whoever.
Yeah, that's the thing here in Spain as well. Everybody says that, and that's the easiest thing to use against Zidane if you don't like him. That he doesn't know this, he doesn't know that, he doesn't know. He's more of. And I told you guys this before. I mean, at this level, you're coaching the best in the world. You're coaching world champions. You're coaching Ballon d'Ors.
Yes.
There's not much you're gonna teach them. I mean, of course, a coach will help his tactics. It will help, of course. But at the end of the day, I think in a Real Madrid, like I've said, in a Real Madrid dressing room, look at the Mourinho's, look at the Rafa Benitez. What did they win? Those type of coaches hardly ever won anything. If it's the type of coach like Zidane, Ancelotti, Del Bosque,
Yes, Ancelotti.
back in the days, in the 80s, Ben Hacker, Tosha, these coaches, even back in the 50s, 60s with Miguel Munoz, he was, who else was that? Bologna. These coaches would tell them, go out and have fun. Go out and have fun. I mean, you know what to do there. I mean, these guys they're not dumb. I mean, they're world champs. I mean,
they have won everything.
Zidane, okay, maybe Zidane might lack tactical issues, fine. But to win 3 Champions Leagues in a row, that's not chamba,
Yes.
that's not chamba to win 3 in a row. Come on, you have to give him a bit of credit.
Yes. So hopefully the haters will see Zidane in the same way we do.
Nah, the haters are gonna continue because I've already seen them last night make comments. They are gonna make comments, and they're gonna say last night, oh, it was just luck. Again, they're gonna say it was like they say here in Spain, la flor de Zidane, the flower of Zidane, right? I'm sure you guys have heard this.
Black magic.
His flower, the flower, his luck. The people are still gonna say that, but at the end of the day, I mean, if you're a fan of his, just let it go in through one ear and out the other. Let it slide. Okay, whatever. You don't agree, then don't agree. The day when we win the league, then don't celebrate either. Diba? If you don't, so what they say?
Yeah. So, okay, Renz, how about you? Agree with Zidane's tactics yesterday?
Zidane's preferred formation is 4-3-3. We all know that. But I think this time Zidane needs to play this 11 consistently. We know that at the start of the season, we keep on changing tactics. We keep on changing lineups. We started a lot of different players. This time, I think Zidane needs to play this 11 consistently. I don't know if Hazard will ever.
Yeah, what if Hazard comes back?
Yeah, I mean, how will he fit in? Will he fit in alongside with Vinicius on the right wing? Because Hazard has played both sides of the wing and also in the center forward position. So we all know that we still have Hazard, and I think it's a good headache for Zidane. So and with Vinicius, I think with Vinicius he just needs the proper decision making. He's actually starting scoring. So I think that's a good sign for Vinicius. But last night, I think the midfield balance was always the key. Ever since Zidane stepped in, he always finds the balance in the midfield very important with the introduction of Casemiro and his first tenure, and right now with his second tenure on Fede Valverde, that he found balance in the midfield. Um, and yeah, it's tough to see Modric starting to really being kicked out of the starting 11. But I think Modric is the mod keeping Modric
Fresh.
fresh and call this na ready to play games. No,
For
whenever he's
later
called
on,
upon to. Yeah, I
especially
mean,
for later on.
Yeah,
yes, yeah.
we will need it's a
We
long
we, we
season.
also we also last night how Modric's impact was affecting the game when Fede came out. So this is one of the I mean Zidane, he will always be a manager. No. Tactically he's growing. Personally I always saw it as he makes these decisions, as he starts his 11. When he started experimenting, it's a sign for him that sign on him that he's actually growing tactically. Real Madrid's dressing room is filled with a lot of big names. So
Egos. Your big egos.
egos, yeah,
Control
especially
that.
yeah, it's
You
hard to
have to
control that.
control that.
Yeah, you have to control that.
And most of the time, Zidane takes control, and we have players that Zidane can't really manage well. Gareth Bale. So it's um it's a matter of how are you willing to contribute to the team. We all know that everyone in Madrid are skilled, are superstars, but how will you commit to Zidane's plans and Zidane? How will you trust Zidane? And with Zidane, um, I think last night's tactics were correct. Every decisions were correct, and he'll make mistakes. We all know that. And historically, as we saw in every Zidane's tenure, we start always slow. We always start slow in Zidane's tenure, but in the end, we always finish in a high note, whether it's in Champions League or in La Liga.
Omar,
And about the tactics yesterday or earlier, and talk about the intensity. Intensity was consistent throughout the whole match. And what I like to commend is the passing lane. Even if Barca players are pressing the team, there will our player still find someone to pass the ball to. And the Mendy over Marcelo. I mean, the last Clasico, Marcelo was the one who played, and I like Mendy's performance though. Uh, Consistently defended Dest coming in, and Pedri coming in, and Cruz was playing the same position he played during the Manchester City game, playing up front, pressing on. So when the opportunity comes rise, he'll he'll pass it to Benzema, create an counter attack opportunity. Casemiro, yeah, classic Casemiro. And what I noticed about the tactics of the last match is that it was different tactic compared to the Shakhtar and Cadiz tactic. You know, the build up of the counter attack is there. Unlike the match against Cadiz, the first half of the Shakhtar match, it was they're just passing it around, no counter attacks, just crossing in
directly.
inshallah. Yeah. So yeah, that's all.
So Omar, there's news that Hazard is already training. So do you think he'll fit in Zidane's starting lineup?
I think he will fit over Vinicius. I mean, I saw how Vinicius played yesterday. I mean, kind of destroyed the counter attack opportunities with his passing. I mean, not all, but two counter attacks opportunities was destroyed by him.
So Gian, what do you think about Zidane's tactics? Especially, I think he did a good job covering the right flank because Barca was constantly attacking that flank, which led to their only goal that was set up by Messi. Um, then Alba's cross to Ansu Fati, which was Barca's only goal of the game. So, how do you think Zidane did protecting that right flank?
I think Zidane's preseason tactics and testing and whatever are is done. So I think he knows who to really start on these types of games. But he really just needed to do those formations games before. So and then with the right flank, everyone was really doing well. They should have had more than one goal, two goals, but they did very well. The defense did really well.
Yeah. I think we should commend Marco Asensio, who put in the work last night, helping out Vasquez in the right flank, and of course our two center backs who were great last night, Varane and Ramos, especially Ramos who
Yep.
I mean,
um,
can I just say that Varane really plays well alongside Ramos, and without
Yeah.
Ramos,
yeah
yeah, I mean,
he,
Varane is really out of
His mind.
he can't command the center
yeah.
back or the backfield, and
I
like
think
the World Cup.
Hmm.
yeah, maybe he puts too much pressure on himself trying to be Ramos when Ramos is not there.
Yeah.
Which instead of just playing like the way he usually plays, so
Yeah, I mean
hopefully he
before
can adjust.
yeah, I mean
So
before he plays even without Ramos he plays consistently. But the pressure on him since he's one of the best center I mean he's being dubbed as one of the best center backs in the world. And the pressure on him is really high right now since he's one of the leaders of the team. I think he's the fourth captain. So yeah, I mean the pressure is there, but he needs to take it off on his chest na kailangan niyang maging Sergio Ramos. He needs to play with it. He's where his area of what do you call this expertise, which is more of a sweeper and really commanding the back.
It's unusual because when Varane is playing with France, Ramos is not there. But but when with this France, when he's playing for France, he's playing good. He's playing excellently. He won the World Cup with France. Ramos is not there. But when it in Madrid, when Ramos is not with him, he's just playing bad. Manchester City games, Shakhtar, and it's there. Yeah.
But guys, look at this also. It's not just because he's playing bad because Ramos is not there. It's also because he was playing beside Militao. And Militao, if you watch the Shakhtar Donetsk game, Militao was committing so many mistakes. Militao was pushing very high past the half line, leaving the space behind, which left Varane all alone in the back. So Varane has to adjust, try to recover, and make up for Militao's mistakes. So he ends up leaving his space, which is supposedly his. So it's just a chain reaction. When your teammate, if I'm playing center back and my partner goes out and goes to a position where he's not supposed to be, I have to try to make up that mistake of him not being in his spot. So I leave my area. So it's just balls. It's just a ball. That's what's been happening to Varane, if you notice. Even like in the Manchester City game, same thing. I mean, the mistakes of Varane, it wasn't really his fault. He was given the ball in the position by Courtois in a very difficult position, So it's not really just Varane's mistakes. There's more to it. It's not only Varane's fault, guys. And like you said, yeah, he is one of the best in the world.
yeah, I think every big club has been wanting to buy him. So, but I still believe he is Sergio Ramos' successor. So let's talk about the La
Yeah,
Liga
but I mean,
race.
he'll never have the personality,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I
charisma
mean
of
Yeah.
Sergio Ramos.
Sergio
He's a good
Ramos has
defender. He's a good defender and all, but I mean, Sergio Ramos, I mean, he's
Yeah.
going to be nominated as one of the best center backs of all time in the Ballon d'Or team that they're creating. I don't know if you've seen that by France Football. And Sergio Ramos, definitely he's going to be up there with the Beckenbauers and all of
Maldini,
these.
Nesta.
I mean, a lot of
Cannavaro.
may disagree with
Of
that,
course.
but
I mean,
Sergio Ramos has
yeah,
the panache, he
yeah, and
has the
Cannavaro,
attitude.
honestly, Cannavaro's not even close as well to Sergio Ramos. Honestly, I don't know why he's in the elections of the Ballon d'Or. I mean, Cannavaro was great, yeah, but it's a different level, you know. And Sergio Ramos is one of the greatest of all time. So, you know, to be compared to anything like that, it's very difficult, you know. And Varane Varane is great. I love the way he plays and everything, but you know, ibang level si Sergio Ramos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah, just saying that he's gonna be center back number 1 when Ramos eventually, hopefully it's not
We'll
in the near
see.
future. Yeah.
We'll see. Unless they sign
Who?
a really big name when Sergio Ramos retires in the next 2 years.
Who's that? Who's that? I want to hear that name. Who's that, Mikey?
I don't know.
Delete.
I have
Is that
I have
is that
no
Van
idea.
is that Van Dijk?
Um,
Delete.
That
Delete.
Delete?
I wouldn't
Delete?
mind.
I mean,
Okay.
finding successor to Ramos will be hard. I mean, we have also options in the academy, but we also have in the club football.
So let's see. So
It's a
let's go
different
to the
story. It's a different story also because this Van Dijk, De Ligt, I mean, he was great in Ajax. Look at him in Juve.
Juve.
He's
He's
not
on the
really playing
bench.
well in Juve.
Yeah,
Struggling.
Tactically, he's not really fit. No,
it's
in
it's
Juve.
it's a totally different story. You know, this Van Dijk or whatever, he comes to Madrid, puts on the Real Madrid jersey, and we don't know what's gonna happen. It's very difficult, the pressure playing for Real Madrid.
Not everyone is built to play for Real.
No,
So yeah,
no, they're not.
there's the okay. Let's go to the
Anyway,
La
go
Liga.
ahead.
Yeah, let's go to the La Liga title race. As you may remember, well, it's been like a year because of 2020. But the last time we beat Barca in what's that? February, March. We beat them
February.
2-0, and we were so pumped up. We knew we were favorites to win La Liga, and then we lost to Betis. So, what do you think about the title race? Let's go to you, Renz, first. Can Barca catch up? Is Atletico our biggest rival?
If there's one thing that I'm really scared right now, it's Atletico. Luis Suarez was their only signing, and yet he's making them dangerous. I know they were beaten by Bayern Munich 4-0 last time, but in the La Liga, I mean, you saw how dangerous Suarez is last night. Um, and I think Atleti has far more has the advantage than Barcelona in this title race. I know I'm a bit scared for next week. It's Huesca. I know that we all know that Madrid has this tendency to be complacent, but I am optimistic. I mean, I still remember games wherein Zidane started slow, and yet he has this one game that turned the season around and made them like in 2016, his first game in charge, wherein he started that win streak without losing games in La Liga. So this I think this time Zidane already knows his tactics well. He knows his players well. He knows who's going to put in. And with the title race, let's see how Atleti will fare because, to be honest, I'm really scared by them. With Suarez, Costa up front, that's not just your simple striker duo. I mean, they'll simply hurt you up front. Good thing we have Ramos, will match to them. But yeah, as well with Sevilla, no, and even like what I said last night, even what I said before, those teams like Getafe who can really hurt us. So we have to be aware with that. But I think we have the the, the drive, and we have the team that can still win the Liga.
Okay. So, Omar, who's our biggest rival right now for the La Liga title? I know it's
Sevilla.
early. but
Yeah,
it's
I think
Atleti,
it's too
Barca.
early to say if
Yeah.
we're going and title race. I mean, it's just a seventh match day.
Yeah.
30 more to go. It's gonna be a long, long drive. But as of now, yeah, I agree. I'm scared of Atleti and Sevilla. Lopetegui Sevilla. Um, they're very consistent with their balance of the attack and defense. So, can Barca catch up? Maybe. Lamang tayo ng isang game sa kanila.
So, Mikey, who's our biggest rival right now? Is it our biggest challenger to the La Liga title race? Is it Barca or Atleti or another team?
As of now, it's still Barca number one. It's still them. And then you have Sevilla and Atletico de Madrid, for sure, those two. But as of now, I mean, Barca's just 3 points. They have 2 games in hand. If they win both, they're just 3 points behind, a game behind. And we've already seen Real Madrid, they can give away points to anybody, you know? And especially now with this, how football's being played, there's no fans, so that really affects your game. I mean, if there were fans last night at the Nou Camp, would this have been the score? Maybe not. It would have been a different story. Would have the referee given the penalty with the VAR with all the fans screaming at him? And maybe not. You know, so the fans being there influences the game a lot. But now you have no fans, so basically playing at home isn't really an advantage. And I think I don't really agree with Madrid playing at the
Stefano.
I don't agree with that. You know, I would have preferred them playing at the Bernabeu, even without the fans, because as your opponent, when they come out of the locker room and they start looking up at the Bernabeu, even without the fans, I mean,
intimidation.
I'm sure you guys have been there. I'm not sure if any of you have been there, have done the tour without the fans, and it's still impressive. You know what I mean? Just the history of the Bernabeu, and just that when you come out and you'll be like in shock, like So I think it's a big effect, and you can lose 3 points against anyone. So you cannot count them out. You do not. Another thing in Spain is, like they say, you do not win a title September, October, November, December, January. Starting Feb onwards, that's when either you're gonna win or you cannot anymore. So I think until we reach those stages, January, February, it's still the same one. It's still the same old number one opponent. And then, like I said, Atletico Madrid is there. They're doing good, especially with Luis Suarez. Now, they had problems in the past that they didn't get to score goals. Now with Suarez, they're getting more goals in. And Sevilla's, I think they've gained a lot of experience playing. I mean, they've been playing a lot in the Europa League. And I think they have a fantastic coach.
Kings of Europa.
I think, and even they showed it against Bayern Munich when they played the Supercopa. They showed how competitive they are, and I think that's what Lopetegui brings to their team. They all believe in him. They follow him. He has a great system. When he was coaching Spain, I think he was there for 20 plus games. Spain didn't lose a single game with Lopetegui. And I think if he stayed coach, I think Spain would have a good chance of maybe winning or getting very far in the World Cup.
I agree.
Yes. So definitely Sevilla could be there. It's just, it might be hard for them if Madrid, Barcelona keep a good pace. All of the journalists and here in Spain, they're all saying if the league points is low, around 70 points, Sevilla has a chance. But if the points go up to 80s, 90s, it's going to be hard for Sevilla to take the championship from Madrid, Barcelona, and maybe Atletico de Madrid. So yeah, I think it's really those four. The rest, like I said, they can beat you in any given Sunday. A Getafe, a Villarreal, a Valencia, even a Cádiz, who just came up from second division after how many years, can sneak in and take away the 3 points. So yeah, It's going to be a tough league. Like I said, I think it's basically because there's no fans, so the home court advantage is it's almost taken away from you.
Also, I think Leo Messi's goal tally won't stay at one for very long, I think. So, how about you, Gian? Who's our biggest rivals for the La Liga title
Well,
after 7 matches?
nothing to add to what they said. The teams that they said are really our rivals. Just to add to what Mikey said, nobody wins the championship this early, but it may haunt us if we don't get 3 points every match day. So
Yeah,
that's it.
you
Yeah.
can't win it this early, but you can lose it this early.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
we need to win the
also,
winnable
it's
games.
it's a huge advantage for us winning this against Barcelona because currently we own the tiebreak if ever we have even points at the end of the season. So hopefully we can win our head-to-head with Barca for the rest of the season. So let's go to our next game, which will be against Borussia Mönchengladbach. So let's call them Gladbach for brevity or easy. So Champions League, we lost our first game to Shakhtar Donetsk, which was probably our rock. Hopefully that was our rock bottom for the season. So Mikey, any thoughts on Mönchengladbach? Have you watched them? What do you think Zidane will do to
Um,
change our fortunes in the Champions League?
honestly, I haven't watched them.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Gladbach play. But from what I've been seeing the results. I think if I'm not mistaken, they're in top. They've been doing very well. They've been playing well in the Bundesliga as well. Um, they are they're a classic rival of Real Madrid back in the 80s. Real Madrid, Gladbach had a very strong team back then, and Real Madrid had a few encounters with them in the UEFA Cup. Um, so Real Madrid has experience playing against them, and I think this game against Barca was really a good help, a boost of morale for the team, and hopefully we can pull away the win there. The good thing is Gladbach drew against Inter Milan,
Inter Milan, yeah.
so they only got 1 point. So even if Madrid lost, they're still very close. It would have been worse if one of the teams won and, two teams already had 3 points and Madrid and another team had 0. It would have been much more difficult. But yeah, what I can say is Borussia Mönchengladbach, they come from the Bundesliga and these teams are very well prepared physically, especially. I mean, it's always been like that with the German teams, even back in the day. There's a saying, football's a game 11 against 11, and the Germans always win. They used to say that. So
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Bayern Munich, we've even seen Red Bull Leipzig. They're performing very well. Very aggressive. They like putting on that high pressure, pressuring you very high for you to commit the mistake, and then as close as your box as possible. So when they take the ball, they're very near your own goal to score against you. So I'm sure they're going to be very physically fit, very aggressive as well. Try to make Madrid commit some mistakes in their own back. And so that's what we're going to have to be aware of. The good thing is, like we've been saying, the captain's back.
Yeah.
So, just his presence alone, it's a huge boost for the team. And it's also, it also deflates the other teams. Shakhtar Donetsk knew Sergio Ramos wasn't there. So they really took advantage, but all these other teams, when they know Ramos is going to be there, so they're going to be worried about that because he can't just, it's not just defending because he can score too. So, I mean, he's all around. And so, but overall, I think, yeah, like I said, it was a good boost for the team to redeem themselves against Barcelona. Perfect timing, because you got the Champions League coming, and it was against your biggest rival. So I think that's going to be really in favor of Real Madrid.
So if Hazard is healthy or fit for that match, do you think Zidane will use him, especially in, that's sort of a big game for us too.
I don't know if Zidane is going to use him. I don't think he is fit yet to play because I haven't seen any news here in Spain assuring he's already 100% because he just got injured a few days ago again, and they said he was going to be out for a few weeks or 3. So I don't think he's ready to play yet. And even if he was ready to play it, I mean, not ready to play it because there's one thing being back to training and back from your injury, and another thing is being ready to play in a game, an intense game. There's two big differences there. You can go back training because your injury is good. You can start running, kicking the ball, but you're not game match fit yet. You know, you're fit for training, yes, but you're not fit for a game match. Because in training, if I'm Hazard, my teammates know I've been out for a year. My ankle's screwed up. During training, they're not gonna tackle me as hard. They're not gonna challenge me as hard. They're not gonna come defend me 100%. If I'm gonna come by Ramos and Ramos is just gonna let me go through, or he's not gonna tackle me as hard as he should. But if you're gonna play in a game against Borussia Mönchengladbach, these players are just gonna let you go through. They're gonna take you down. I mean, who injured Hazard?
It was
If you remember,
Yeah.
against
Yeah, it was
PSG.
yeah,
Against
exactly.
PSG,
His
right?
teammate, his
as well
teammate
in
in Belgium,
Levante.
his teammate in Belgium, Munier from Belgium in PSG,
Yeah.
right?
It's against PSG. Yeah.
So when it's game time, there's no friends there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When the referee blows his whistle, I'm gonna go at you as hard as I can. After the game, if you want, we go have a beer or whatever. But during the game, there's no friendships. I mean, that's how I think too. When I play in a game, I mean, even back in the day, just a story. When I would play, I would like convert into this whole different person. You know, so when you step into that game, like I said, it's that you have to go 100%. So I don't think Hazard is fit yet for one of these games. Maybe in the next week or two, if he is okay, finally, I'm sure Zidane will be putting him in, 15, 20, 30 minutes here, there, 60 minutes, little by little. And then once he's 100%, then, yeah, and he's going to have to fight for that spot because Vinicius
True.
has been doing well.
True.
Hopefully Asensio in these next few games as well. So yeah.
True.
And just to add, like it's not I mean, there's a difference between being physically fit and mentally fit for the match. I mean, with so many injuries that has transpired in Hazard's Real Madrid career, we have to check his mentality. How is he mentally in this type of games?
Yeah.
He's going to how he's going to be. He's going to play cautiously. Is he going to play the way he's usually playing? He really gets a lot of goals in his Chelsea days, scoring a lot of penalties because of his dribbling. But right now, I can't see that happening. With his injury, especially in the ankle, with also with this, I think it's the legs or strains. But yeah, physically fit, Hazard can be physically fit, but mentally we have to see if mentally if he can really take that his game on the next level, or he play cautiously.
That's true what Renz is saying because a lot of times the players get injured, like he was saying, it's all up here in the head.
Yeah.
Sometimes they think they're not yet 100%. So if they have an injured in their right leg, they tend to force their left leg more. Eventually, they get injured on the other side because they were compensating. So a lot has to do, up here. It's really correct what Renz was just saying.
So Omar, Gladbach, have you watched them or are we
Uh,
in trouble? Or do you think we can win this easily?
Unfortunately, I haven't watched their Inter Milan game, but I think it's there. They're penetrable. I mean, Mainz has scored 2 goals. Inter Milan has scored 2 goals. It's there. It's there, penetrable. Hazard playing already. I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe he'll play for the 80th, 70th minute as a sub, but I don't know if he will start. As of now, since I'm the one who's posting the trainings and all, I haven't seen him in the field training with the group, with the squad. it's stated there that he's training inside the facility with Odriozola, Carvajal, and yeah. So I don't know yet if ano, but I think uh the the match will be played well because of the win. Ramos also said that this is a victory for us emotionally. So I think it's there, the confidence, the morale boost is there. So yeah.
Okay, so Gian, Gladbach, Champions League. Think Lucas Vasquez is back as a starting right back.
There's probably a high chance that he will start because of Nacho, and then
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Zidane will use Militao. So Mendy works, Mendy, Varane, and Ramos works. So it's probably Lucas Vasquez if he's fit, because maybe he's tired from that 90.
From stopping Messi, right?
It depends on his.
Yeah, that great tackle on Messi was something to behold. Okay, so predictions
Here,
for
guys.
oh yeah,
Sorry. Here,
Okay.
I'm just looking at the news. Hazard just completed the whole training session with the group.
oh,
That's good. That's
but
good.
but you think we should hold him for Huesca?
Yeah, I
For
don't think he should play yet. I don't think he should
Yeah.
play yet.
I
Not
mean,
yet.
even in the Huesca game, I think he should be on the bench, just
Yeah,
to
he
but-
cannot
be
start.
slowly.
yeah, he
He
cannot start.
cannot start. He cannot
Yeah.
start yet.
Yeah.
No way. And Zidane's
So-
not gonna do
Yeah,
that.
I mean that was the problem last time when he was healed
He
with
was
his
rushed back,
injury.
right?
I think he was rushed back. I think that was the Levante game.
Manchester
And
City. Manchester
yeah, in the
City game.
Manchester City game as
Yeah,
well.
shouldn't
He
have
was
played.
re-injured in the Levante game, and he played in the Manchester City game where he
He sucked.
mostly defended.
Yeah. Vinicius should have started. Yeah.
Have songs did. Yeah, Vinicius should have started that game.
Exactly.
Oh, good. Training pictures. Okay, let's have for last word from you guys. Let's have also let's go to the Huesca game. Any predictions for that game, Mikey?
Actually, Huesca's been doing all right. They just came back again. They were in second division. But they started the league a bit okay, all right. Now they've dropped a bit.
They have
But
5 draws.
It's a tough team. It's a tough team to beat. They're not having a bad season. Because they're a very small team. They come from a very small town here in Spain.
Already.
So yeah, I'm sure it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough to beat because, I mean, they're going to defend with as hard as they can. Against Real Madrid. Like I said before, when you're playing against these teams, they come out, they just close every line, they keep the defense and the midfield together, just within a few meters of their box. It's very tight. We saw it in the Shakhtar Donetsk game. When Madrid had the ball right outside the box, you had basically all 10 players piled up right in the middle. So it's very hard to navigate, get those through balls, and you got to open it up with the wings and try to beat your defender one-on-one. And so it's going to be one of those hard games against Huesca. But I'm expecting 3 points. I mean, Real Madrid's got to, after that win last night, it doesn't, it's going to be useless if you give up 3 points against Huesca. They got to carry on with the momentum and go start playing. And I just want to recap one thing Gian said in the beginning, where he mentioned that Zidane has to find his starting 11 already.
Starting 11.
Right? And I totally agree with that. I mean, I've mentioned, I think a few weeks ago, we're still in preseason. It's been a tough season, preseason. There's no preseason actually because of the whole COVID issue, no practice games. So I think it's about time, these 7-8 games already. So Zidane has to start sticking to a lineup and, and going for it. And the formation as well. I think his favorite formation is a 4-3-3. Stick to it already.
Yeah.
And with the lineup, because I mean, all these changes and all these he's been making, I we were used to seeing that at the end of the season when players are tired, but we just started the season. I don't think these players are really tired. But I think it's also I think it's also Zidane working his psychology to the players. Because if in these past two losses, in all the post-game interviews, he was always blaming himself. The players don't deserve this. That's what
Yes.
he was always saying that, right? And I think it's as a coach, you want to keep all your players happy, And when certain players are in the bench for a long time, that's not nice. Players aren't happy when they spend a lot of time on the bench, So as a player, you want to keep them happy. So I think what he did now in the beginning, he gave everybody playing time, gave them their chances, let them play. 1 week this guy, the next week the next one, and then I think that's what he's been doing to keep them, still motivated. Let them know that Zidane counts on them, because sooner or later, especially down the line, you're gonna need every single player. You don't want to have these players who are pissed off because they didn't get enough playing time here or there. So I think that's what Zidane's been working on, trying to keep them happy, letting them play. And then now, finally, I think we will maybe start to see a certain 11 more consistent, maybe one change, two changes, but not, we've been seeing 5, 6 changes sometimes.
Yeah.
So I think that's been what has been his strategy with these players. So I hopefully, like Gian was mentioned, I hope to start seeing that consistent 11 already from now on.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. So Ren's predictions for Huesca? Back-to-back wins, back-to-back-to-back, actually.
I mean, I'm seeing a back-to-back game, but yeah, I cannot myself. I cannot be complacent that much because with what we saw last time after we beat Barcelona, we knew how Betis also beat us. So I'm still trusting that they can pull this off. Huesca will play tougher defense. That's usually what happens when they play the games wherein teams newly promoted teams. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game, that's for sure. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a defending wherein basically 10, 10 players from Huesca would really be parking the bus. So yeah, I see a win and maybe an inspired Madrid with Capitan back and maybe the 11 founding their groove. And yeah, I think this 11 would still be should consistently start this game. So we'll see how this 11 goes. I hope Vinicius starts to really grow more in this Gladbach game and as well in Huesca.
Yeah, because with all the injuries that we are having right now, and of course there will be more injuries in the future. All the players must have confidence to start when their number is called. So Omar, how about you?
Maybe 1-0, 2-0. Because Huesca is a defensive team.
Yeah, they have 5
Even
draws in 6
yeah,
games.
even Atletico struggled against them.
Oh yeah,
So we'll see. But I think our defensive woes won't be a trouble because I think Ramos will play. So and I think it's gonna be a 1-0, 2-0.
okay. Gian, score?
Same. I think they're the defensive, so maybe 1-0, 2-0. And
Okay.
hopefully, I see Valverde play. So even if he doesn't play on the Gladbach game, if he plays in Huesca game, I'll be glad to see him.
Okay. Final words, guys. Mikey, any last words about this tremendous weekend?
I think we've said everything. I just hope that the team, after the win last night, just bounces back. Uses this to push them all the way to the end of the season, and know that in every game they have to come out and give that same intensity, that same discipline, that same determination, decision when they come onto the pitch, when they're playing against Barcelona, against when they're playing against Valladolid or Levante, who are at the bottom of the table. Because
Yeah.
like I said, it's at the end of the day, it's 3 points. It doesn't matter if it's against Barca or against Valladolid. It's 3 points. You win against Barca, but if you're going to lose against Huesca, it doesn't mean anything. So they have to come out and play in every single game 200%. And I mean, they know that. The players know that. But like I said earlier, sometimes it's just automatic instinct. When you're playing against a weaker opponent, you tend to, calm down, relax. Parang hinahawa ka sa game ng kalaban. And
Yeah,
so
you
it
stoop
tends
down to
to
their
happen.
level.
It tends to happen. So
Yeah.
I think hopefully they've learned this lesson. And another thing is, like I said, Zidane's been blaming himself for all this. So, he's taking all the blame off the players. And I think the players should thank him for that and, step up their game and, say, coach, thanks, but, we're sorry for what's been happening and step up and, give it back to him. He's been, the past few years, Madrid hasn't signed players. Why? Because Zidane also wants to stick to these players who's won everything for him. He's thankful to them. He's been there for them. He's protected them all the way through. So I think the players should show that to him as well, that they can be there for him too as well. And just like I said, just bounce back, redeem yourselves from the first few couple of games and from what you did last night, and just go on and go finish it all the way until the end of the league, and play the way you did last night. Doesn't matter if you're playing against number 1 against number 20. Just go all out in every game, and these players still have it. They have it. So
Okay.
that's all.
Okay. So guys, thanks for attending our 4th episode of season 2. To our Filipino Madridistas, our next game is against Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Champions League. It's on Wednesday, 4 a.m. Philippine time. And our next La Liga game is on Saturday. It's 9 p.m. PH time. So hope you can join. I think we will have another watch party, Mikey. Hope you can join next Saturday. To all Real Madrid fans in the Philippines, you can join us. Our pen is the first and only officially recognized by Real Madrid. So you can follow us on our Facebook page, Omar Peña Madridista Filipinas. And
By the way, congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yep.
Guys.
Congrats, everyone.
Finally
Thanks,
got
guys.
it. Finally
Yeah.
got it.
To all Madridistas, Hala Madrid, and congrats again on a great El Clasico win. Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
See you, man.
Bye.
Hi guys.
Bye.
Hala Madrid.
Bye. Hala Madrid.